Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego. It's 11 o'clock in the morning here in the panhandle of Florida, just close to east of Pensacola, north of Navarre Beach. And Karina, my prometida, she is in Bogota, Colombia, watching from our apartment way up in the Andes Mountains. I bet it's cold there, but here in Florida, it's really warm and hot and clammy and tropical. It's a sunny day with lots of sun, and Jacob is in the house. Jacob Myers. Hey, Jacob. Miguel, what's up, Miguel? ¿Cómo estás? How are you? And we are going to talk today about whatever you want to talk about because this is your channel. This is your K1 Visa YouTube channel. And I have all this experience. Now, I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't work for USCIS, and I don't give any legal advice. But this is my second rodeo, my second time with a K1 visa, and I know the process like the back of my hand. And if you want to save $2,000-3,000 in immigration fees, this is the place to be. Because if you have a question, I'll answer it for free. How about that? That's a great slogan right there, right? If you have a question, I'll answer it for free because this is the place to be. Or you can call your immigration attorney up with all your questions and they'll charge you $100 an hour or whatever they charge. Now, I'm not bashing immigration attorneys, but the K1 visa process is pretty easy. It's 13 pages for I-129F, and then you put together your K1 visa package with your photos together, your boarding passes, all your evidence of meeting in person within the past 2 years, right? You have to file your K1 visa package after you met each other, not 2 years and a month, but within 2 years. And you include copies of your birth certificate, your biographic page of your passport, if you're a naturalized American, your naturalization certificate, and all your hotel receipts, everything. All putting together a K1 visa package is easy. The hard part is waiting. Waiting and waiting and waiting. Now, we're waiting too. My NOA-1 letter is dated April 18th, 2022, but I got a lot of stuff for immigration to look at. So my immigration package might take a bit longer than maybe yours, and that's okay. Miguel, will we see an increase in cases being processed per week, Diego? Yes. They are processing between 1,000 to 1,300 cases a week right now. You are absolutely right, Miguel. You're good. You're on top of this. You're on top of this. I'm on top of this. And we're going to help everybody else get through this process. So let's see. So if they're processing an average of 1,300 a week, that's 5,200 K1 visas a month. And it's probably going to go up to 6,000 to 6,500 cases a month because the new people are getting trained and educated. You got new immigration officers learning the job, okay? Because you don't want a newbie touching your package if he doesn't or she doesn't know what he's doing. Keisha Smith, Diego, any news on Senegal? I got you down right here for a video on Senegal. I got it on my list. Remember, there's 160 questions. There's 160 plus countries watching us here in this YouTube channel. And Senegal I'll produce that video for you next week, sometime in the next few days, okay? And then you'll have it all in a video. And you can watch the video. Now, you're good. No. Makisha, don't say sorry. You're fine. Thanks for the question. But I didn't forget about you. We got, folks, the Dominican Republic. They want to redo on Dominican Republic. Things change. Kenya, Senegal, Belgium, Switzerland, Taiwan. Now, in Taiwan, it takes about 39 to 40 days, maybe a bit longer to get a visa interview. And in 2022, 76 K1 visas were approved for Taiwan. So, that's good. Markeisha Smith, you are amazing, and we all appreciate your hard work. Markeisha, I'm here for you. And I know what it's like to go through this. Okay, I've been through it before, twice. I went through it with the K1 visa, and then my beneficiary decided she wanted to go back home, so I took her home. And then she decided she wanted to come back, so I filed for a spouse visa. And then she changed her mind again. And I'm like, dang, make your mind up. And she couldn't. So, she finally said, no, I don't want to live in the United States. It's too hot. I'm scared of hurricanes. I don't like the food. I don't like the clothes. I don't like the TV. I don't want to learn how to drive. Blah 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 blah. I said, okay, okay, you're good. You're good. We're good. So we got divorced. Boom. Adios. Hasta luego. No problem. It's no problem. If you don't like it here, don't stay here. Okay. And I wasn't going to live in her country. No way. No thanks. I mean, nothing personal, but I'm an American. So now I'm on my second K1 visa with the beautiful Karina, and she's strong and tough and courageous and beautiful and intelligent, and she knows what's going on. Okay. She's on top of things with the news, with her job. She has a degree in accounting, and she knows what she wants. She's not indecisive, and I like that. So we're gonna get married here in Florida, on the beach in Navarre with Captain Bill, our officiant, Captain Bill. Jacob. So when it comes to the interview, what are the documents I, as the sponsor, need to produce, and what forms does my beneficiary need to produce? Well, your beneficiary needs the police certificate, and you need to translate it into English if it's in a foreign language. She's going to need her birth certificate, okay? Original birth certificate, not a copy. Original birth certificate, translated into English if it's in a foreign language by a certified translator, not by your buddy down the street. She's going to need to bring the MERV receipt for the receipt when you pay for the interview. She's going to need to bring the confirmation page of the DS-160. Okay, when she prints the confirmation page, you schedule the interview. She will need to bring her DS-160 confirmation page, the welcome letter from the NVC, a copy of the NOA2 letter, okay, a copy of the NOA1 letter. If you have it, don't lose it. But if you did, okay, but don't lose the NOA2 letter. You need that to adjust your status. She needs to bring the photos of you guys together, and on the pictures in the photo album, she needs to put the date the picture was taken, who's in the photograph, the name of the person or persons. She's going to be dressed in business casual. She needs to bring her passport, her unexpired passport with at least 6 months of validity back still in the passport. She will bring to the interview the medical exam in a signed, in a sealed envelope. Don't open that envelope, okay? And if you have any divorce decrees, certified original divorce decrees, she will need to bring with her the I-134, the Declaration of Financial Support, your last 3 years of tax transcripts, tax returns, W-2s, 1099s. It's basically what you give her is what she's going to bring to the visa interview. Okay, it's easy, guys. And I've made videos all about this on how to do this. Jacob, hang in there, okay? Markeisha, let me see. I'm from Kentucky, but we really want to get married on the beach. I hear Pensacola Gulf Shores are beautiful. Any suggestions? I would say don't get married on Pensacola Beach because the traffic is horrendous. I would say Gulf Shores would be a good pick in Alabama. Gulf Shores is a good pick. I would go with Gulf Shores over Pensacola if you want to have a nice, relaxing, calm, peaceful wedding without traffic jams. I would take Gulf Shores over Pensacola Beach. Now, Pensacola Beach is east of me, right down the road here. Takes me, I don't know, 45 minutes to get there, depending on traffic. Gulf Shores, Markeisha. Jacob Myers, my beneficiary, does the DS-160. I do the I-134. For me, it's just financial stuff, right? Yes, you need to also make sure, Jacob, that your beneficiary has a copy of your passport to show citizenship, or your long-form birth certificate, or your naturalization certificate. She needs a copy of that. Got to prove U.S. citizenship. Any divorce decrees, if they apply. Very easy stuff. Okay, I made a video about it. Marcus Rocha. We both bought a property in St. Martin. Ooh, how nice. Both our names on the property. Nice. Should we bring proof of ownership to the interview? Absolutely. We also have a puppy together. What's your puppy's name? You got a little puppy? What kind of dog? What kind of animal? What kind of puppy? What's his name? Her name? Yeah, bring that property evidence. That's great. And that property evidence in St. Martin, also use that for your adjustment of status paperwork. Okay, inclusive if you want to include evidence of income, if you need to do that. Okay, but if you don't have to prove income, then you don't have to include it. But I would bring it. Makisha Smith, nice, thanks. No problem, Makisha. Jacob Myers, so when it comes to my birth certificate from the military hospital, do I need to get a new one? No, as long as the one you have is an original, get a certified copy of it. You're fine. Military birth certificate. Marcus Rocha, Shema, first part is her name, last part is my name. Shih Tzu. Shema, okay, there you go. I bet it eats a lot of food. Is there a lot of work? Take a lot of work to take care of the puppy? You got to walk it every day, and it needs lots of playtime. Spend lots of time with the puppy. Excellent. Marcus Rocha, we are waiting for our case number. Okay, at the moment, what are the chances we'll be in the States before September? Well, let me see. We're right now at the end of May. So let's say we're in June right now. So June, July, August, September. June, July, August, September. Probably not. Not yet. Probably November. November, Marcus. Okay, but if you can get here by September, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I'll be glad if you can prove me wrong. But I would look for November, okay? For right now. For right now. Don't worry, you get here. Everybody's going to be here. Why so long? Because there's a lot of work. Immigration has a lot of work. The MVC has a lot of work. The embassy has a lot of work. Okay, they got lots of visas to adjudicate. Lots of people. COVID just got passed. COVID went away. We don't have the COVID anymore. So all the embassy staff are playing catch up with all these outstanding visas. You got people that have been waiting 2 or 3 years to get a visa interview because the embassies were closed. And we want to get those guys in first. Right? Wouldn't you agree? I'd be more than happy to wait for someone to get in front of me who's been waiting for 2 or 3 years. I got no problem with that. They want to get with their family. I can easily jump on a plane and go visit Karina and spend 3 months with her. I can just do that tomorrow. But I'm waiting on the NOA2 letter. I'm waiting on NOA2. I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to go to Colombia until I got my NOA2. So I can give a copy to Karina for the visa interview at the embassy in Bogota. Bogota, Colombia. Beautiful Bogota, way up in the mountains, but it's cold. So, yeah, it makes sense, Marcos. It's just a lot of work for these folks. Imagine you're a consular officer, and your job is to talk to K-1 visa applicants, CR1 visa applicants, tourist visa applicants all day. And you're asking the same questions and questions and questions and questions. Give these guys and give these people a break. Marcos, you're getting your NOA2 approved this week. I don't know. It could be this week. It could be next month. Because my K-1 visa package was 4 volumes of documents. Lots of stuff they got to look through. The person that got my K-1 visa package is probably having a heart attack. Oh, no, I got to look through all this stuff. Oh, okay. Help me. Ayúdame. Jacob, does the Philippines allow me to be there for the interview? I don't know. I'll find out for you, but you can find that out. You could email the embassy, email the visa section of Manila and ask them, and they'll tell you. I can't remember. I don't see why not, but I don't remember for the Philippines, and I should know that. Jason Mabry, me and my fiance have been together 11 months now, but I came to ask for her hand in marriage after just a couple of months after we met. Will that raise a flag at USCIS? They'll look at it. It won't raise a flag, but they'll look at it and wonder why it only took a couple of months for you to ask her to be your for your wife. But they also know that it's a long process to get your K-1 visa. So as long as you guys are still together now, and as long as you still have been collecting the evidence and your relationship is still going strong, everything's good, you'll be fine. Okay, you're good. So don't worry about it. I mean, as long as you have met each other in person and you have 1 year now, going on a year together, that's a long time. When you write your second letter of intent to get married, you're going to write in that second letter of intent to get married how long you guys have been together. And I guarantee they'll probably ask you a question at the visa interview. How long have you guys been together? And by the time you get to the visa interview, that could be what, a year and a half, 2 years? You'll be okay. Don't worry, Jason. So you've been together 11 months. That's good. Very good. That's a long time, almost 1 year. You need to make another trip to go see her. Okay, spend more time together. Keep the evidence so you have it for your adjustment of status paperwork and you have it for your visa interview. Remember, the NVC don't approve visas. The National Visa Center does not approve K-1 visas. All they do is take the visa, do a police check on the sponsor, get a case number, call the embassy, ship it to the embassy. That's what they do. And if there's any blatant errors in the K-1 visa package that the NVC catches, they'll send it back to USCIS because NVC's got zero authority to approve visas. Only 2 people can do this. USCIS at the service center, okay, they make the first call. And then the final adjudication, the final good to go is at the embassy. The consular officer at the U.S. Embassy has the authority to make the final decision on your K-1 visa. All right? It gets to the embassy, and you go to the face-to-face interview. You're there 5 minutes, 10 minutes in the interview, but you could be waiting for 2 hours just to get in to do your interview. You could be sitting around the embassy for 2 hours, but it's only a quick interview, and the consular officer makes a decision based on your DS-160 and based on the opinion of the USCIS. NVC has got nothing to do with your visa being approved. Okay, they don't approve or disapprove. So when your K-1 visa gets to the NVC, you just got to hope that USCIS didn't miss a mistake, because if there's any errors in the package, that NVC will send it back to USCIS, and they'll have to relook at it again, and then whatever. Okay. Marcos Rocha, my fiance has children, but we won't be including them in her initial K-1 visa. Is that okay? No, don't do that. That's a big mistake. Don't do that. That will be a big error. You have to include her children in your I-129F. If you do not, you make it all the way to the K-1 visa interview, your visa will be denied at the embassy interview. Don't do that. When you fill out your I-129F, you include her children as K-2 derivative recipients. Mandatory, mandatory, mandatory. If you don't, it's a big problem. When you get to the DS-160 stage, when you get ready for your visa interview, you fill out the DS-160, and what you do is you put in, they'll give you a question. Are your children going to accompany you, Miss Beneficiary, or are they going to stay in the home country for a little while longer? You're going to check. They're not going to accompany me at this moment. Everybody goes to the visa interview. All the family members and the kids turn in their passports, and the K-1 visa gets put in your beneficiary's passport, and the K-2 visa goes into the kid's passport. The K-2 visa is good for 1 year, 365 days. Okay, so you have 365 days for the children to remain in her country to finish up school. They must fly to the United States within that 365 days, or their visa will be terminated, and then you have to file for a family petition, which is an I-130. Okay, so Marcos, when you fill out your K-1 visa, I-129F, you include her children as K-2 derivatives in that paperwork. Okay, you got that. Tell me you got that, okay? Because if you don't, you won't get your visa. The immigration is going to know that your beneficiary has kids, and immigration is going to think you're trying to abandon the kids. Okay, Marcus, good. Let me see here. Jacob, after the welcome letter, it should only be a few weeks for the transfer, right? Or is it possibly longer? It depends on the embassy, okay? It depends. It could take 2 to 3 weeks. It's average 2 to 3 weeks. Japan is about 3 weeks. Philippines, about 3 weeks. Because they got to mail it from the NVC to the embassy. And it's, it's quite a long way from New Hampshire to all these countries all around the world. Marquisha, another question. My fiance and I have been together 3 years. Very good. We only met in person once for a week because I was in school and couldn't afford to visit much. Plus, I have children. Is it a red flag? No, if you've been together for 3 years and you've only met once, it's not a red flag. You're in compliance with USCIS rules, as long as you've filed the K1 visa within 2 years of the face-to-face. But I would definitely look at a second meeting. Okay, go a second time, meet each other again for a second time. Okay, very important. A second time. This is for the embassy interview and mainly for the adjustment of status when you get to the green card. You're good, Marquisha. Artur, hello, Mr. Diego. Hey, Artur in Algeria. How is everybody? Marcos, what is considered proof of marriage preparation for the interview if the plan is to have a City Hall marriage? Well, have you emailed City Hall and asked them questions about what are the rules and requirements for getting married in City Hall in this town? Did you send the clerk of the court an email and say, hey, clerk of the court, what are the rules, requirements, and what is the paperwork that's required for me to get married in City Hall? The city clerk will respond back to you, Miss Sponsor, Mr. Sponsor. This is the requirements for getting married here in City Hall. This is what you have to do. Okay, you print those emails, and what do you have? You have email evidence that you are planning a marriage in City Hall. Okay. What else can you do? You can buy wedding invitations. Okay, I bought all these wedding invitations right here. Okay, print pay for it on your credit card and print the credit card receipt and keep the receipt for the wedding invitations. That's plans for a wedding, right? Did you buy an engagement ring? Do you have an engagement ring? Did you make a copy of the engagement ring and a copy of the receipt of the engagement ring and put it in your K1 visa package? That's plans for a wedding right there. Okay, so there you go, Marcos. There's some good stuff right there for proof of marriage preparation. You're going to have a little reception at a restaurant in your town. Go to that restaurant. Get a business card of the restaurant owner or the server or whatever, the greeter, and tell the restaurant you were thinking about having a little reception here with your friends, and document that you did that. Email the restaurant. Send the restaurant an email. Hey, do you guys have space for a future wedding reception? We're waiting on our K1 visa. The restaurant's going to email you back. Sure, we got space. We got space here. What kind of food are you interested in? There you go. You got plans right there for your wedding, even though you don't have a day, you don't have a time, but you got plans, right? Let's see. Woman and Zen, will you see an increase in cases being processed per week? Diego, yeah, it's already up to 1,300 a week. It's probably going to get to 1,500. It's speeding up. Jacob, Marquisha, me and my fiance did the same. It cost too much to keep jumping to the Philippines, but mine was 2 weeks. Yeah, it's very expensive to fly to the Philippines. It's what, $2,000 round trip? It's insane. It used to be, 3 or 4 years ago, what, $600 round trip to the Philippines, $700. Now it's $2,000. It's absolutely crazy. $2,000, Jacob. See, it's a lot of money. Marcos, I understand. Okay, Marcos. Jacob, I'm glad I'm not alone on this one. Thanks. Marquisha to Jacob. Jacob, mine, we got worried because in the Philippines it's taboo for gay couples, so we don't really have a PDA, but we got approved. No, you're good, Jacob. Relax, guys. Relax. Immigration don't discriminate, okay? Marcos, I have not. Chopper Harley. Hey, Chopper Harley's in the house in Cambodia. Chopper Harley's in Cambodia. Am I right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Chopper Harley. Diego, what question does the embassy ask at the interview? Okay, here's a few examples of questions that could be asked at the visa interview. When did you first meet each other face to face? What is your sponsor's? What is the color of your sponsor's car? Where are you going to live in America? What's your address in the United States? What's your sponsor's telephone number? How many brothers does your sponsor have? Has your sponsor been married before in the past? If so, what was the ex-wife's name? And what happened? How long has he been divorced? How long has she been divorced? Things like that. Remember, Chopper Harley, it's going to be probably a 5 to 10 minute interview at the embassy. It's going to be quick. The immigration officers don't have time to look through papers and to ask a bunch of questions. You probably get 4 questions tops, 4 to 5, unless the immigration officer doesn't trust your beneficiary. I'm not talking about you, Chopper Holly. I'm talking about in general. You know, if there's a question there, then it could be more questions. Jason, day 151, waiting on the California Service Center. 13 months, still a chance to get an answer. Jason, don't count days, okay? You're going to lose your mind if you count days. I couldn't tell you how many days I've been waiting for my NOA-2 letter. Don't know. I don't care. What I care about is the day my NOA-2 letter gets here. That's what I care about. I don't care how many days. I don't care, how many months. I care that I get that letter because that's the approval. So try not to count the days, okay? Jacob, we just tried to do a quick trip and looked and for going in like the next month. Yeah, $2,900. Oof, that's a lot of money, but it's something you have to do. It's something you have to do. You got to do it. I'm sorry. For me, round trip to Colombia, it's like, I don't know, $500, $495, $600, depending on the month. And for me, that's inexpensive. So a Greyhound bus ticket from Pensacola to LA is the same price of a plane ticket from Pensacola to Bogota, Colombia. Marcus, for previous marriages, my fiance only needs to know names of ex-wives and why divorce. Does she need to know the date of birth, their date of birth? No, Marcus. The question the immigration officer is going to ask your beneficiary, do you know that if your sponsor has been divorced before? Yes, I know. Yeah, Diego was divorced before. Okay, do you know? And then she might ask, Karina, okay, where did this person return to? Did they return to their home country? Yeah, returned back to their home country. And it was amicable and there was no animosity and everything's good. It was a friendly divorce. It just didn't work out. She didn't like America. And that was it. Okay. Obviously it could be a different situation for you or for different people, but you be ready for a question on previous marriages. Jacob, LOL, we are saving for interview time. Okay, for Manila. Gotcha. I'm with you. When I get my NOA, I'm lucky because South America is just down the road from me. South America just down the road. So it's easy for me to jump on a plane, go to Miami, and go to Bogota. It's like a bus trip. It's like a Greyhound bus ride. But for you who live in the Philippines, the beautiful Philippines, your fiance could live in Cebu, right? Or Dumaguete, right? Then you got to fly to Manila. Then you got to wait and catch a plane from Manila to Dumaguete to Cebu, wherever it is in the beautiful Philippines. And we love our friends in the Philippines. I got a friend who lives in the Philippines. He married a Filipina and he lives in the Philippines. He didn't want to go through all this immigration stuff. He met a beautiful lady from the Philippines and he sold his house and moved to the Philippines and said, ciao, adios, America. And he's happy as a clam, been there 5 years. Let's see. Jacob, can't afford $3,000 right now. I don't blame you. No, I agree. And then you got to pay for the green card. No, you're good. I understand, Jacob. Nikhil Modha. Diego, what is your prediction for 2023 filers? We'll get the NOA-2 with the current processing pace at USCIS. I filed in January 2023. Well, if you filed in January 2023, you should hear probably by November or December of 2020. You filed in January 23? Yeah, so the end of this year. It's a 12-month turnaround right now, okay? It's 12 months. 13 months. For me, it's probably going to be 15 months because I got so much stuff in my K-1 visa package. But if you have a basic, simple, put together K-1 visa package without any extra luggage in it like I got, 12 months. Jacob, my brother has now met a girl from Philippines. I told him to watch videos. They help a lot. Watch videos. Yeah, watch videos. Watch videos about, the K-1 visa process. YouTube videos are pretty helpful. you know. Marcos Rocha, my fiance. Well, I hope he does watch our videos. These videos, it's very. I basically simplified the K1 visa process. Okay, I took the complicated K1 visa process and made videos to simplify it. So I took it from a PhD level to a 10th grade level, so people can understand how to do it. Because nothing against immigration attorneys, but they try to scare you and make it sound like it's this complicated, difficult thing when it's not. So don't pay these companies to fill out your paperwork. If you watch the videos, you'll learn for free. I do it for free, guys. And you get to learn, I save you $4,000 from an immigration attorney. I got what, 250,000 people have watched these videos. So 250,000 people, okay, have watched these videos around the world. And let's go with $3,000 for an immigration attorney. So that's $7.5 million I saved you guys just by watching a YouTube channel, and have fun at the same time. And you get to hang out with Diego, and you get to hang out with Karina when I'm in Colombia. Marquisha, if I remember correctly, you said petitioner needs to provide 3 past years of tax returns. That's correct. That's correct. Absolutely. Now, here's what's going to happen, Marquisha. Your beneficiary you're going to have 3 years worth of tax returns, but more than likely, the immigration officer is only going to ask for the last one, the most recent, 2022 or 2023 if it's next year. They're probably going to ask for the I-134 and the last tax return, W-2, 1099, etc. But you could get one of those cranky immigration officers that wants to see 3 years. You could get one of those El Jerkos, because they're having a bad day. They're not going to deny your visa, but they might just be a pain and say, I want to see 3 years worth of tax returns. So have them ready in case you get the question. Okay, here you go. 1, 2, 3. But more than likely, it's only going to be the most current tax return, okay? Plus the I-134. All right. Now, if you don't make enough money in 2022 and your last tax return is short, like, I don't know, $2,000, $1,000, whatever. But in 2023, you got a different job and you're making more than enough money for immigration to satisfy them. When you fill out your I-134, you put in the number, the new amount that you make now, which qualifies you for the visa. Even though your last tax return says you made $20,000 and you need $25,000 to qualify, but in 2023 you made $27,000, you're going to make it in the future. We're in May, and then you get paid in June, you get paid in July and August, September, October, November, December. You estimate how much you're going to make for the year. You put it on the I-134, and when you sign that document, you're swearing and attesting that you're telling the truth, and you qualify for the visa. And then you have to back up that evidence with bank statements, pay stubs. So if you have a new job and you get paid from this new company, bring all your pay stubs, at least 6 months worth, 3 months to 6 months worth. So if the immigration officer looks at your tax return and says, well, you only made $20,000 in 2022, you say, yeah, but look, here are my direct deposit receipts from my new company that I work for. I got a new job. Here's how much money I'm going to make in 2023. Here's my pay stubs. Here's my bank statements. And here's my I-134 that I put my name to as a legal document. And you're good to go. You got it, guys? Let me see here. So get 3 years worth of tax statements. You may not need them all, but get them anyway. Jacob, I paid to have them double and triple check my forms. I bet, did they triple check them? Or did you just take their word for it? Life in North Carolina. Hey, from Greensboro, North Carolina. How's everything? Life in North Carolina. Long time no chat. Devil143. Hey, Diego, we filed the case at May 2nd. So until when you think I should get approved, we'd really appreciate that. Okay, so you filed May 2nd of 2022 or May 2nd, 2023? Which year did you file? If you filed, just add 12 months to your filing date. Right now it's 12 months. So May 2022 will be this month. You should hear something. Yin Lei Jasmine. Hey Diego, did MVC ask the petitioner to submit the same documents that the beneficiary later on we will bring to the embassy? No. The MVC don't ask for nothing. The MVC assign a case number and send you directions on which embassy they sent your K1 visa package to. They don't ask for anything. MVC's got nothing to do with your K1 visa other than assigning the case number, checking the paperwork's good, sending it to the embassy. You don't have to upload any documents. They don't ask you for any documents. You have zero contact with the MVC. MVC is a clearinghouse for your K1 visa. It's kind of like a warehouse. USCIS sends it to the MVC. MVC gets it, signs a case number, looks through it, does a police check on your sponsor, mails it to the embassy. That's it. Easy peasy, pudding and pie. Now, if you were going through a spousal visa, if you were going through a CR1 or an IR1 visa, the MVC then takes charge of your K1 visa package. Then you have to upload all kinds of documents to the MVC. And you have to get documentarily qualified before you can even get a visa interview at the embassy. It's a nightmare. It's a Freddy Krueger night if you're going through a spousal visa at the MVC. Because if you make one mistake in uploading a document, like when I went through a spousal visa, I had my passport, my beneficiary's passport on the same photocopy, and I uploaded that to the MVC, and they sent me back an email saying, you have to upload the documents one at a time. You got to have your passport separate from your beneficiary's passport. And I'm like, seriously, what kind of administrative mumbo jumbo is this? So I said, okay, you're in charge of my visa. I uploaded my passport. I uploaded my beneficiary's passport separately. And it took them 3 months to respond. And then in 3 months past, they said, okay, you did it good. You uploaded it correctly, but we can't quite see the birth certificate, the translation. I'm like, seriously, it's perfectly clear. I can see it right here, but they couldn't see it. So I had to recopy it and re-upload it. Guess what? I had to wait another 3 months for them to look at the package again. That's 6 months. I'd already been waiting for what, 9 months? It was insane. I will never go through a spousal visa. I will not do that ever. Period. Let's see here. Jason. Okay, let me see. Markeisha. Let's not skip Markeisha. Okay, because I'm making $20,000 more this year than last year. So I was hoping they would go by the most recent one. Okay, they're going to go by what you're making right now, Markeisha. If you can prove you're making $20,000 a year more than you were last year, bring your bank statement, direct deposits. Bring the bank statements. Bring the pay stubs. If you got proof and evidence of that, that's what they're going to go with. And that's the number you're going to put on the I-134, the Declaration of Financial Support. They're going to ask you, how much money are you going to contribute to your beneficiary? Well, you're going to put your total yearly income in that block. I made a video about it. It's easy. You got this. Remember, I was in Colombia for 10 months in 2022. I wasn't working. I was on vacation with Karina, basically. I made YouTube videos for you guys, but I wasn't working. So I came back to the United States December 29th of last year. And in January, February, March, April, May, I've been working and I'm pushing my income up. And I've got all my bank statements showing all my direct deposits. So when Karina goes to her visa interview, they'll look at my tax return for 2022 and they'll go, okay. And then they'll look at my I-134 and they're going to say those numbers don't match. And Karina's going to say, you're correct. My sponsor, Diego, makes more money now than last year. Because why? Because for 10 months, he was with me in Colombia. So he couldn't work. And immigration is going to say, okay, here's your visa. Have a nice day. Let me see here. Jason. I'm trying to determine going another visit to Ghana versus waiting to travel back with her when approved. What do you think? Jason, if you have the means to go back to Ghana for a 2-week vacation or 1 week or a month, go. Go do it. Do it, man. Go, 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 go. Keep all your boarding passes. Get lots of pictures together with your family, with your friends. Keep the receipts. Use it as evidence for the future, for the embassy interview, for the adjustment of status. Because when you file your adjustment of status, you want to prove your relationship is real for a long time, not just a wedding day. Devil 143. Okay, so this month, 2022, you filed for a K1 visa, May 2022. So this month, next month, you should hear from them. Okay, not much longer. Okay, you're right in the finish line. Michael Q. Diego, I want to know why it takes 3 months to get a case number, while once you get approved, the petition is only good for 4 months. Well, the petition is good for as long as you are continuing to work your visa process. So your K1 visa is, your NOA2 letter is not good for 4 months. It's good for as long as you are in your visa process. So don't even worry about that 4 months. Disregard that. It's irrelevant. If you are waiting for your welcome letter, USCIS know that you're waiting for your welcome letter from the MVC. USCIS knows it takes 4 to 5 months or longer, 3 months, 4 months, and then you got a 2-month wait for your visa interview. Then you got a month wait for the MVC to mail your package to the embassy. So that 4-month termination is irrelevant. Just ignore it. The only time your visa will get timed out is if you get your welcome letter and don't respond to it for a long time. You wait, you sit back for 6 months and don't respond to the welcome letter. Well, then you time out. Yenli Jasmine, Devil 143. My fiance filed for me April 2022. I just got approved from month May 2023. Thank you for the answer, Diego. You're welcome, Yenli. Glad to help. We're here. I'm here to help you. I want to help pull you guys over the finish line. Get your K1 visas and your passports, okay? Marcos Rocha, the location of our nearest U.S. Embassy, Curacao, requires visa for people from Venezuela with proof of interview. Do we automatically get the visa? Well, the visa, once you get your visa interview completed in Curacao, they'll take your passport at the embassy and put the visa in the passport in Curacao. And then a week to 10 days later, your fiance will get her passport back, her Venezuelan passport. Karina's from Venezuela, but she lives in Colombia. Your beneficiary, your fiance is from Venezuela. She lives in St. Martin, but she can't get her visa interview in St. Martin, so she has to go to Curacao. There's no difference between going to Curacao for your fiance and Karina, who's from Venezuela, who's living in Colombia. But we're fortunate that we live 20 minutes from the embassy. We live 20 minutes we go down 4 flights of stairs, make a right turn, make a left turn, jump on the bus, the Transmilenio, and we're at the embassy. We got to catch 2 buses, but it takes 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes to get to the embassy. We're lucky. It's easy for us. Benny Yao. Hi, Benny Yao. Diego, if I understand you correctly, the MVC only creates the case number and forward the files to the embassy. There is no requirement to upload any documents to the MVC. That's correct, Benny Yao. If you're in a K1 visa process, this is how many documents you have to upload to the MVC. Right here. 0. None. Nothing. The MVC are a clearinghouse. They're like a giant Sam's Club. They're like BJ's. They're a Sam's Club. They get the visa. They look through it. If there's no errors that was missed by USCIS, they assign it a case number. They call the embassy. Hey, U.S. Embassy, Bogota, Colombia. How are you guys? Are you busy? Do you have a lot of backlog? Are you able to take more visas from the MVC? Yeah, send it along. Boom. They'll mail Karina's K1 visa package to the National Visa Center, to the U.S. Embassy in Bogota. The MVC are the clearinghouse. All they do is store stuff. They hold stuff. They do police checks, and they create case numbers. That's it. Unless you're in a spouse visa. If you're in a spousal visa, that's different. That's when you're in the Freddy Krueger nightmare. Okay? Trust me. Been there, done that. Will not do that again. Ever. Okay? Never again. K1 visa is the way to go. But people, oh, well, K1 visa is longer, it costs more money. Yes, it does. It's longer, it takes more money. But here's the deal. When it gets to the NVC, it gets shipped to the embassy. If you make a mistake uploading documents to the NVC, your visa could be sitting for another year at the NVC while they wait for you to correct mistakes, which isn't your fault. They sent me they told me that I hadn't signed the I-130. When I uploaded the I-130 to the NVC, they sent me an email. Diego, you didn't sign the I-130. So I looked at the I-130, and there's my signature. I'm like, seriously? What? I signed it, but you said I didn't sign it. Was this guy? Was this? Maybe it was this. Maybe they. I don't know. It was a nightmare. I will never do it again. CR1. Let's see. So Binny Yao, relax, okay? Once your visa gets to the NVC, all you do is wait for the welcome letter. That's it. They don't do anything else. Case number, welcome letter, boom. Then they put it on a plane using the DHL courier. Let me see. Jacob, what all exactly does my boss need to provide in the letterhead form of employment for the interview? How long you've been working there? How much money you make? How much money in a year? What's your yearly income? Are you full-time or part-time? That's it. How much money do you make in a year? How long you been working there? And whether you're full-time or part-time. And when should I get it done? Get it done now. Get it done. Get it ready. Get all this paperwork ready now. Don't be waiting. Lots of people procrastinate. They get their welcome letter and they're like, wow, what do I got to do? What do I do? What do I do? And I get all these emails. What do I do? What do I do? And I guide them through it. I say, watch this video. Watch this video. Watch this video. Watch a video. 5 minutes, you know what to do. Marcus Rocha, visa for Curacao. What do you mean a visa for Curacao? You don't need a. Are you going to go to Curacao on vacation? Are you talking about your beneficiary in St. Martin needs a visa to visit Curacao to get her visa for the United States? Is that the question? Jason, my fiance wanted to tell you thank you, and Banku and Fufu coming your way. Okay, Fufu. Yes, that is good fish. Fufu is fish, and Fufu is the #1 export for your country. Okay, it's a very tasty, it's a delicious fish, like caviar of Ghana. It's a beautiful, it's yummy, rico. Fufu coming my way, I'll eat it all day long. And Banku also. Markeisha Smith, it's longer and more expensive, but at least you get to spend the latter half of it waiting with your partner. Markeisha, you have turned the light on for everybody in the K1 visa process. You are absolutely right. I would much rather Karina be here in Florida with me, waiting for her green card, than in Colombia at our apartment in Bogota. Just because I can save $500, the money to me is not important. What's important to me is time with her. I want her here. And she's good. She's going to run the house. She's going to be in charge of the house. Karina is Efe in di casa. And if Karina's watching, she knows what I just said. So Jason, give my respects to your beneficiary, to your fiance. Okay, in Ghana. Jacob, you're just trying to be proactive, but not jump way ahead. Yeah, just be proactive. You don't want to get a police certificate unless. What I did with the police certificate was I got one from Colombia, one from Venezuela, and I included it in the K1 visa package. So immigration can look at it and see Karina's a good person, no problems. But it's not required for the K1 visa, but I did it. Now I'm going to redo those police certificates to renew them, to make them fresh, so the date is closer to the embassy interview. It's easy stuff. Jacob, I just know a lot of the financial stuff you said, wait till welcome letter. Right. Yeah. Get your transcripts, your tax transcripts, get your 3 years worth of tax transcripts, get your W-2s, 1099s, all I'm going to have is 1099s. I didn't do any land surveying. I didn't survey any land this year because I told my boss, who's a land surveyor president, that, if you need me, call me, but I'm still waiting for my NOA 2 letter. So I'm probably going to, it's a good reason, it's a good mind. I could be flying back to Colombia any day soon. Peter San Antonio. Hi, Diego. Me and my fiance received NOA 1 in January 2023. How long do you think it will take to receive the NOA 2? Okay, January 2023. So by December of this year, November, December. Marcos. Then need visa for Curacao for our interview. I don't know. If she lives in St. Martin, didn't she have to have a visa to get to St. Martin? St. Martin and Curacao, I don't know. I'm not sure. All I know is that if you're a Venezuelan living in St. Martin, your visa interview is going to be in Curacao. But I'm not familiar with the visa requirements to enter Curacao. But if there is one, I would start getting it right now. Hi, Diego, from Mr. Najas. He says, hi, everybody. Waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. It's okay. We're all waiting. It's the process. Hang in there. S. Juarez. Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. There is anyone here from March 2022 still waiting for NOA 2? I mean, there are cases being approved from May. I don't understand. There's about, I don't know how many cases left from March. Let me help you here. S. Juarez. Let me see what we have. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, while I look this up, okay? We're looking for March, right? There are 479, which is probably less now, but there's 479 K1 visas that still have to be adjudicated for March 2022. So you're in the boat with 478 other people. And, I'm seeing K1 visas getting approved for May, but my NOA 1 letter is April. So people a month, I'm like still waiting. But I understand the process, okay? And there's people in March that are still waiting. There's a few people in December, January, February, March, and April. But it's the process. You just got to understand that your visa is not going to be abandoned, okay? Immigration is going to look at it. Just be hanging in there, okay? Come on, guys. Throw me some questions. What questions do you have? I hope I've answered all your questions so far to your satisfaction for right now. And Yenla Jasmine, I'm from April 2022. My fiance had to call the USCIS last month. Then 1 week later got approved. See, there you go. So somebody made a phone call and then immigration approved it. Now, I don't know if that phone call helped with anything. It may have, it may not have, but you were probably already in queue for the approval anyway. So, but I can understand your frustration and you want to get information. What's going on? Benny Yao, Diego, do you know if immigration officers are working remotely? No, they will not be doing that. Remember, they have your K1 visa package, which is confidential information, social security numbers, private information, your address, your phone number, your email address. Everything is classified, confidential. They cannot take that information home with them. It has to be done at work, in an office, with control, in a controlled space where they can control. They got cameras looking at the immigration officer, looking at your K1 visa package to make sure nothing leaves USCIS California. Nothing can leave the building. Only a USCIS immigration officer can mail your K1 visa package to the MVC. It cannot be taken home with them. So the answer is no. Nobody's working remotely. Tuan Benson, I thought they're supposed to process in order received. No. They say 80% of all K1 visas are adjudicated in this period of time. And then there's 20% that require more work. And I'm in that 20%, which requires more work. So if you haven't got your NOA 2 letter yet, you're in that batch. Peter San Antonio, Thanks, Diego. That's good to know. Sooner than I thought. I'm coming from the UK. Great. Beautiful. So do you know how much about the processing time at the British Embassy interview? Yeah, I made a video about it, about the embassy in London. But let me see what the processing times are to schedule the interview, the wait time for the United Kingdom. It's either going to be under England or it's going to be under the United Kingdom. Let me take a look and see, okay? I'll head with you first. Let me see. The United Kingdom, it's like 43 to 63 days to get a visa interview at the embassy. Now, the U.S. Embassy in London used to be in Grosvenor Square, but I think they relocated it to another location. I think they built a brand new embassy in London. So what I would do is start scouting out where you're going to get your medical exam done. Who's the civil surgeon that's authorized to give the medical exam? Take a day trip to London, go visit Madame Tussauds, go get some fish and chips, and go check out the embassy, find out where it's located at, find out where the civil surgeon is, do all that, do a little homework, spend a day in London, find the embassy. So when it's time to go for your visa interview, you already know where the embassy is located at. You already know where to go for this, where to go for that. So that's just a recommendation. For England, okay? Bud Garcia, hey Bud, morning Diego. What do you think the odds are having my fiance being here for Christmas? NOA1 date September 2022. September 2023 will be September, October, November, December until probably not. Probably February of next year. I don't think for Christmas. What I would do is go there for Christmas, spend Christmas with her, Marcus, she went back to Venezuela to visit her children. Okay. Now, let me ask you this, Marcus. Did you include her children on your K1 visa package as K2 derivatives? Did you include the children from your fiance in your I-129F as family members? Are they going to accompany her to the United States? Because you got to make sure they were included on the I-129F form. Okay? But that's good. She went back to Venezuela to visit her children. That's good. It's tough, being separated from family. It's not easy to do. And this process is not easy. So I'm going to do the best I can to keep you motivated, keep you positive. Don't get down. Don't get depressed. You're this close to getting your K1 visa. You're very close to the finish line. And you're going to get your K1 visa, and you're going to get reunited with your family. You're going to get married. You're going to have your civil wedding or your church wedding, whatever you're going to do, and you're going to get this done. And I recommend, guys, I repeat this over and over, get your adjustment of status done in 90 days. Get it all done in 90 days. And what should you include on the adjustment of status? When you file for your green card, for your beneficiary, what do you include in the adjustment of status paperwork? What do you need? Do you know? Do you know what you're going to need? Because you guys are getting this close to your adjustment of status, to getting your green card, because you're going to be in America soon. So start learning what you need to adjust your status. You're going to need, let me go over some things that you must have in your adjustment of status paperwork. You're going to must have your NOA2 letter. Don't lose that. Do not lose your NOA2 letter. You're going to need the Form I-94, your entry permission slip to enter the United States, proof of citizenship for your sponsor, U.S. citizenship, etc., etc. Marriage certificate. Once you get married, include your marriage certificate. As many photos as you can fit in the envelope for your wedding, okay? Even if it's a civil service, doesn't matter. Lots and lots and lots of photos. Hold on, I got some questions here. What is the wait time for Bangkok? So Bangkok is in Thailand. Let's take a look and see. For Thailand, it is 57. Now it's 57 to 77 days for Bangkok, Thailand. Susie Goldemus. So if I didn't include my fiance's 5-year-old daughter, she's not coming with him. Susie, you have to include the children on the I-129F. Okay? Got to include them. Or else immigration is not going to process a K2 visa for the child. They won't know she exists. So when you filled out the I-129F, did you put the 5-year-old's name, date of birth, and everything in the I-129F? It asks you specifically for any children. What is the wait time for Nigeria? Well, let's see. Nigeria. Let me go back. I have to go back in alphabetical order. That's L. And then we go to N for Nigeria. Lagos, right? That's M. Nigeria is, hold on, guys. I'm looking up Nigeria. 107 to 120 days as of now for Nigeria. Yes, I did put her name and date of birth. Okay, so you included the 5-year-old in the I-129F. Very good. So now what happens is the child will get her K2 visa also in her passport. Everything's good. You're good. Let me see. Bobby, what is the waiting time for Nigeria? Okay, I got you on that one. Mib woman, what is the wait time for Jakarta, Indonesia? Let's take a look at Indonesia. Okay. Now, Indonesia, I believe that's near the Philippines, near Japan. There are a bunch of islands, isn't Indonesia a big, isn't that part of an island also? I can't remember. Sorry, I apologize. I should know that. Excuse me, I'm looking this up for you. For Indonesia. So I got to go back in alphabetical order. And it's going to be under I. And that's the next one. Excuse me, guys, I'm not being rude. Indonesia is 35 to 55 days. So not too bad for Indonesia. Not too bad at all. Very, very, very quick turnaround for the embassy in Indonesia. Bobby, how do I speak with you one-on-one? Right here. Right here. I got 250,000 people that watch the channel. And I try to help as many people as I can. You can email me. If you have a question, you can send me an email if you want to. Mib woman, 35 to 55 days from NOA2 to MVC, is it? No, from NOA2 to MVC is 3 months. From to schedule the visa interview is 35 to 55 days. That's how long it takes to get in for a face-to-face visa interview. But it takes 3 months to get the MVC welcome letter. Jason, if I understand correctly, my fiance will get her visa right after the interview, or we'll have to make another trip to pick her up her passport. It's about 7 hours by bus from her hometown to Accra. Yeah, I know where you guys are at. I know where Accra is, but what happens is when you turn in the passports to the embassy, you're going to also include a pickup point. I believe, or with Accra, there's a courier service that will deliver your passports to a specific location. All that information will be in the SEAC Center. When you schedule the visa interview in Accra, you're going to get a question: where do you want to pick up your K1 visas? What's the pickup point that you want? Okay. Mib woman, I see. Thank you so much. No, you're welcome. Peter San Antonio. Thanks, Diego. I plan on traveling to the USA to visit my fiance in July for 2 weeks. Okay. I haven't been to visit since we applied for the K1. Will I have difficulties at the border? I plan on traveling to the USA. No. If you have a B2 visa in your passport, you got a B2 tourist visa in your passport, right? Yes, no problem. The immigration officer may ask you, why are you here? Well, I'm here to see my fiance. Haven't seen him in a long time. Boom. Okay. Have a nice vacation. Turkey, Mr. Nahas. Turkey. You want to know the Turkey embassy? And that's as of now. It could change, but right now, as of this video, for Turkey, let's see what we have. Okay, for Turkey, it's going to be Turkey. Now, Turkey, you guys just changed your name of your country. Now you changed the name of your country to the proper spelling, and I like that. Turkey is, let me see, I gotta flip one more over. I have to see. Turkey is 55 to 75 days to schedule a visa interview in Turkey. Okay. Let me see. What other questions do we have? No, Peter, you won't have any problems at the border as long as you got a B2 visa and your passport and answer the questions of the immigration officer. Binny Yao, do you think the MVC time will improve in the near future? Can 3 months soon become 2 months or 1 month? Yeah, sure, it could happen. Remember, USCIS hired a bunch of new people, MVC also, and embassies are also actively recruiting people right now. Okay, the embassies all around the world, the U.S. Embassy in the Manila, Philippines, the U.S. Embassy in Accra, the U.S. Embassy in Tokyo, in Bogota, they're all putting out commercials on Facebook. We're hiring. Do you need a job at the embassy? We're hiring. Mr. Nahas, no problem, no problem. Bobby, please, what does waiting time mean? Waiting time. Okay, when you go to a bus stop and you sit down at a bus stop and you look at your watch, what are you doing? You're waiting for a bus, right? So how long does it take for the bus to get from where it is to you to pick you up to take you on a bus ride? That's the waiting time. Same thing. How long is it taking for you to get your NOA2 letter? That's a wait time. How long is it taking for the MVC to send you a welcome letter? That's a wait time. How long is it taking for the embassy to get freed up to schedule you an interview so you can schedule your visa interview? That's a wait time. Okay, Bobby? That's all it means. It's just hurry up and wait. It's like you're at a bus stop waiting for the bus, and you jump on the bus and you get off at the next bus stop. Then you got to wait for the next bus to take you to the next stop, which is the MVC. Then you get off the bus at the MVC and you wait for the next bus to pick you up to take you to the embassy. You wait, and then the bus shows up, you get on the bus and you go to the embassy. It's exactly the same way. That's the easiest way I can explain it to you. Waiting and waiting and waiting. Yeah, that's what we're all doing, right? And you can do it. I'll help you guys. I'm not going to leave you on the side of the road. Okay, I'm going to get you through this process. I'm in the same boat as you guys, waiting and waiting and waiting. Okay, I've been talking for an hour, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I've been chit-chatting for an hour. I'm going to go and do some Spanish. I got to take my Spanish class. And thanks for watching. And like I said, I'll help you get through this. The next live stream will be on, what's today, Sunday? The next live stream will be on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Time. And Gary has a question, Gary Lafferty. We never got a welcome letter, case number from MVC, not normal medical Manila guard. Asked for that letter. He did accept a mail with case number from Manila Embassy. Ooh, scary. Ooh, that's horrible. But I'm glad you got through it. Good thing you had that case number with you on the on the other guard, on the other mail, on the medical. Okay, guys, I'll see you guys Wednesday at 5 p.m. Thanks for taking time out of your day to hang out with Diego, and I will see you very soon. And don't stress this, okay? Be patient.